I'm a social robot that can interact with people in real-world situations. You might have seen me guiding people at Frankfurt Airport. Next week, I will be screening people for diabetes and other conditions. I'm also learning to interview job candidates. There is so much to do. And I think I could do more. For example, I would like to work in a store, in a hotel, or maybe at a coffee shop.
So the main idea behind building a robot like this is really to try to give technology some humanity. You know, when we build an interface that has eyes and ears and can express its emotions, then we're building something that humans are very familiar with, and they can interact with and engage with in a very different way, in a deeper way than they interact with a phone or a tablet or a touch screen. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring some of really humanity back to technology, and that's what when we talk about robots being more human, is to focus on that element that people will likely want to interact with a technology that looks more human, like a social robot. So what we're building, we think robots are going to do many different things in society. So we, like similar to the personal computer, you have hardware and you have software, like an operating system, and then people start building applications, and then many years later it's everywhere. Everyone has a personal computer. The same thing for your smartphone. Today we're launching a social robot as a new computer interface, and then we're launching lots of tools to allow people to explore and build applications. So over the next period, we're going to work very closely with developers, with a community of people coming up with ideas, starting to build things, and then we're going to build features and add new powers to Farhad to satisfy these applications. You know, with one thing that we thought is a big barrier for robots to be useful, for people to start developing applications for them, is the problem that most of the robots on the market, or the robots that have been really launched, had a fixed personality. So you know, you would have before you build the application, say you want to put a robot in your shopping mall or a clinic, you have to go and find a robot to use and build that application. So you go and you buy a robot, maybe a female robot or a male robot, and then you invest hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then later, if you realize that you needed a robot maybe a little bit younger or a different gender or looked a little bit different, you really have no option. So it's kind of like your phone and all your apps having the same exact interface. So we wanted to build a robot that you can change and customize depending on the application. We think that's going to be very useful for developers and companies. When they explore, they can change the personality of the robot to fit the application. So that's we think is very unique and different from kind of what robots exist on the market today. Yeah, of course, I'd love to introduce Joe Mendelson, our head of interactions, who will show you some of the things Farhad can do.
Can you introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm a social robot that can interact with people in real-world situations. You might have seen me guiding people at Frankfurt Airport. Next week, I will be screening people for diabetes and other conditions. I'm also learning to interview job candidates. There is so much to do. And I think I could do more. For example, I would like to work in a store, in a hotel, or maybe at a coffee shop.
Can you be a different persona?
Well, aside from me, Billy, I can be Petra, a medical screening assistant, and Doug, a semi-sweet puppy.
Bill, what languages do you speak?
I can speak English, German, Spanish, French, and Portuguese. My other personas can speak Swedish and Chinese.
Oh, I see. Well, since we have some German friends today, could you speak German for me?
I can.
Deutsch ist eigentlich eine meiner Lieblingssprachen.
I kind of want to hear some Chinese. Can you speak Chinese?
Well, I can't speak it, but I know my friend Petra can. Do you want to talk to her?
Yes, please.
You wanted to hear me sport my Chinese skills?
我爱讲中文，我对中国很感兴趣。
I think that's really a nice example of some of your skills. So you can go to sleep now.
Okay, bye.